All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Biotech Boom, a series where we cover exciting news and price action amongst some of our favorite biotech plays, more specifically COVID-related biotech. So, unfortunately, COVID is at the top of mind for many right now. Cases are going parabolic, lockdowns are being rolled back into effect, and it sucks, guys. It really does suck, but we should all feel thankful and be fortunate enough to be able to capitalize on macroeconomic opportunities like this. So, this episode will be specifically focused on Moderna and Sorrento stocks. These are my two personal favorite plays in the COVID-related biotech sector, and that's not to say that a lot of these other plays that we've talked about in the past that you can see here on the watch list won't do well. These are just the two companies that I'm personally choosing to focus my energy towards. So let's get into it. As always, we'll go over each topic that we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, of course, TradingView, where we will take a look at, again, just Moderna and Sorrento stocks today. We will get technical. I will let you guys know what I'm thinking in terms of future potential price action. It's a super exciting time in the sector. I mean, a lot of volatility in the sector, and that's, again, you guys, volatility isn't necessarily a bad thing. When it's on your side, it can be a very, very exciting and very lucrative thing at that. Okay, so we will go over this. I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking in terms of price. And again, obviously, this volatility is caused by the news. So in terms of news, I got two articles, one for each of these stocks that I want to look over with you guys today. The first is Moderna vaccine production is gearing up, partner Lonza says. So this is huge, you guys. Again, the development side is obviously half of the task, but the second half, the second 50% of this overall vaccine production is the production and actually scaling the operations, getting the physical vaccines ready for deployment across the world. So this is huge, you guys, huge news. We will go over this article here. And after we go over this, so we'll go back and forth. We'll kick it off with this article. We'll then move into Moderna on the charts. I'll give you guys my technical analysis, and then we'll move into this article on Sorrento. So this is titled "The Breakthrough for Sorrento Could Be Just Around the Corner" by David Modal. Okay, so this is a great article, you guys, and I love some of these Investor Place articles, especially about Sorrento. I feel like we've covered a lot of Sorrento articles on Investor Place, so shout out to the author here. Credit where credit is due. We will read over this because I think this guy makes a lot of great points here that I want to share with you guys. I definitely agree with a lot of these points that he makes. Okay. So we will read through this and then obviously finish it off with Sorrento stock on the charts. Before we dive in though, I will, as always, ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you're invested in either Moderna or Sorrento stocks. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. And of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. It has been a freaking great week for the portfolio newsletter. Huge shout out to the portfolio family, you guys. We've had a great one. And again, if you guys are interested, first link down in the description, complete breakdown, my entire portfolio. I do update that every trading day. Every update, send out an email newsletter rationalizing the trades I made, giving you guys my thoughts on the overall markets. And you guys do also gain a direct line of access to me via email to ask me any, be thoughtful about any questions you want though. Okay, so first link in the description. Really appreciate it if you guys check that out. If not though, no worries at all. Let's get into this first article. So, Moderna vaccine production, again, gearing up. Partner Lonza says huge. Company has made first batch of main ingredient for COVID shot, ramping up production on vaccine could last into 2021. Lonza Group AG made its first commercial batch of the main ingredient in Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine candidate in the U.S. last week and plans to start European production by the end of the month, Chairman Albert Bainey said. The company is ramping up, fine-tuning its production lines, a process that may stretch into next year. We have access to raw materials. We have access to the people. I mean, what more do you need? Bainey said in an interview, the main challenge is to optimize as much as possible. I mean, you could say that about anything, but they're trying to optimize. That's obviously what you want out of especially such a production-heavy industrial task like this. Lonza's effort is key to ensuring a smooth rollout for Moderna's vaccine should the shot prove to be as safe as well as effective. In contrast to pharma giant Pfizer, its closest U.S. rival in the race for a COVID shot, the biotech has no other marketed products and has never had to build out distribution channels for medicine. So again, you guys, that's why it's huge. I've talked about this before. I'll say it again. The fact that this Moderna vaccine, this mRNA-based vaccine from Moderna, is showing efficacy, like 95% efficacy at the same level as Pfizer's vaccine, which is a huge a huge pharmaceutical company, is huge, you guys, because they have a whole pipeline behind just this COVID vaccine, flu vaccines, other vaccines. So the fact that this works is a huge green flag for their entire pipeline of vaccines. That again, once they establish the manufacturing, once they establish partnerships, which is good that they have done that with Lonza, because Lonza is a very competent manufacturer of these types of things. That's huge for Moderna's not only short-term future but long-term future. Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine found 94.5% effective in early analysis. It's funny, you guys. I'm not gonna bring up this article or anything, but I'm sure you guys saw it. Pfizer just kind of. I was thinking Pfizer just released news, I think yesterday or something, that their vaccine was actually 95% effective. And again, I did not look into that specifically at all, so I don't know what happened. I don't know how that happened, but I was just like, what, like. Of course, they say 90.5% effective more than what Moderna released initially. So I just thought that was a little goofy. Again, they could be very right. I don't know what the process. I don't know if they're just lost some paperwork or just kind of sloppy as well. But you guys, let me know down in the comments below if you know why that was. I mean, I could look it up, but I'd rather talk to you guys about it. Most of the production of the drug substance for Moderna's vaccine is running via Lonza, a Swiss company with a long history of partnering with big drug makers. Lonza is building out capacity for 400 million doses a year, 300 million from 3 production lines in Visp, Switzerland, and 100 million in New Hampshire. Moderna itself has 1 production line with capacity for 100 million doses a year. That is I really like the look of that. Moderna has said it will be able to deliver 20 million doses of vaccine by the end of this year, enough to inoculate 10 million people. The U.S. will get to the first batch. Of course, U.S. Again, another area where me, U.S. friends, we're very fortunate to be in the place where we're first in line for this. If you guys want to take it, let me know down below as well. I'm genuinely curious about this, and I'm surprised I haven't asked this yet. Would you guys take the first round of vaccines? Personally, I'm very open to a vaccine. I think it's a responsible thing to do for the greater good of the people around me, my loved ones, even people I don't know. It's just a responsible thing to do. But I'd be a little skeptical personally on the first batch. If I see the first batch roll out successfully, I would happily take the second round. Okay, so that's my answer. Let me know down below what you guys think, though, because I'm, again, genuinely curious on that. I'm surprised I haven't asked that. Moderna's vaccine is a new type of medicine like the one from Pfizer and its partner BioNTech SE. Based on messenger RNA, which is mRNA, it essentially transforms the cells of the body into tiny vaccine-making machines. That new technology means that Lonza had to create its production lines from scratch, Bainey said. The Swiss company has a 10-year exclusive collaboration deal to produce mRNA products for Moderna. Again, huge, guys. It's just to have such a competent partner, once again, like Lonza, that's a very, very bullish for Moderna, not only short-term, long-term. So moving down, I think that's the last here. So we'll close it out there, you guys. Again, just good news for Moderna. Obviously, you guys know it's 94.5% effective. I did just see an article with their CEO, Stephanie Bancel, who said that they're trying to get clearance by the end of the year. So I know Pfizer's trying to do this as well. They're trying to get emergency use authorization for their vaccine. But again, you guys, the FDA, they don't have an easy job. You can't, as much as people want it, as much as you want to make things speedy, which they are, it's still a very tall task. You can't just start injecting people with things that you aren't 100% certain are safe and efficacious. So again, hopefully by the end of the year, I think that is a fair time horizon for the first batch of vaccines to start being rolled out. Definitely January 2021, I think we'll get the first batch of vaccines like widely distributed. So very bullish for Moderna. Again, this is my horse in the race personally. Not saying Pfizer, BioNTech, AstraZeneca can win, but this is my horse in the race, and it's looking good, guys. The technicals are looking good. So as you can see here, again, shout out to the newsletter yesterday. We called this perfectly. Moderna bounced off this line that was once a significant line of support on this channel up from mid-September to mid-October. So this was a clean channel right here, and I had this line drawn for a while, and I figured it would use this line as both an area of support and resistance. Blasted straight through it, successfully using it as a line of support though. And again, head and shoulders completely like out of the picture here. I think that we're going to see another run up, and my guess is we might see a little resistance back at this area that was support. It broke through this, but I think if it's using this lower line as a line of support on this previous channel, I assume it's going to use the top line of resistance on this previous channel as a line of resistance as well. So we might see a little pullback around the $98 region. After that, though, I think I don't even know if we'll see a pullback, guys. I think it's a lot more likely that we hit that, maybe bounce down a little bit, go sideways, and then ultimately come up to what is my ultimate price target around the $110 to $115 region. So when's that going to happen? I don't know, but I do think that once we break through this line of resistance on this previous channel, I think it's very, very likely that we come up to test this historic line of resistance on these longer term uptrends. Okay, so I think that's I mean, again, when is the question? I think personally it will happen probably by the end of the month. You guys always keep in mind, not financial or investment advice. I'm not guaranteeing anything. This is just my take on it. Okay, so let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are trading Moderna. again, with things like this, I swing trade. I don't day trade. Not trying to day trade it, but I'm definitely confident. I'm feeling pretty confident on these medium, more midterm moves. Okay, so that is Moderna in a nutshell. Nice and quick there. Let's go over the Sorrento article and let me not overexpose myself. There we go. So, clinical stage antibody-focused biotech firm Sorrento Therapeutics has a clinical pipeline that's packed with novel coronavirus treatment and vaccine candidates. I'll read a little fast here, guys, because it's kind of a long one. The array of products in development just keeps expanding, and that could be good news for investors of Sorrento stock. Shareholders have been severely tested in 2020's second half. However, Sorrento stock is a typical biotech stock, meaning that it's susceptible to roller coaster moves that would shake out some inexperienced traders. So that's a big issue, guys, that we saw during that first run of Sorrento. Now, keep in mind, you guys, a lot of you, similar to Riot and a lot of these stocks we talk about on the channel, that's the thing about not only it being involved in biotech, but being involved in revolutionary, exciting sectors, which, again, takes a strong stomach, but I love what I talk about, what we talk about on this channel. SRNE stock is, again, and what my point there was, back during that initial rally, we saw that Sorrento became one of the top 10 traded stocks on Robinhood. And knowing that Robinhood this year saw such a significant spike in retail investor interest, likely a lot of younger retail investors, they're going to be inexperienced. That's what I was saying. I call them the retail Joes, the day-to-day traders. And again, you guys, it's great that that younger individuals especially are getting educated and financially educating themselves, because this is a game you play for life, and the earlier the better. So that's awesome. But realistically, that's going to make for even more volatile stocks than usual, because of just those inexperienced hands, those weak hands. Okay, so said that a lot during that downfall for Sorrento. I'm sure you guys remember a lot of weak hands. Shake the weak hands out. I think the weak hands have gotten shaken out for the most part, and you know what? Now they're probably going to buy back in, which is the gnarly part. Like any other coronavirus stock, Sorrento will be influenced by the ups and downs of the global battle against COVID-19. Plus, Sorrento Therapeutics faces intense competition as it diligently develops its anti-COVID-19 solutions. In order to keep up with its peers, Sorrento will need to introduce new and innovative products. Can this ambitious biotech firm prove its mettle? Mettle is a funny word to use. Reasons for the price plunge. Since SRNE stock declined by an astonishing 40% in the month of October, one might surmise that the company hasn't made much progress in its clinical pipeline lately. Perhaps it's possible that the trading community was disappointed with Sorrento's progress in the battle against COVID-19. The expectations were sky high. Sorrento had a vast array of programs to address the coronavirus. So you can see all these here. You guys pause it if you want. I'm not going to read over each one of those, but I've talked about all of them on this channel at some point in time. With a battery of potential COVID-19 vaccine and or treatment offerings, Sorrento's chances of success with at least one product should be very high. Nonetheless, the market didn't necessarily see it that way. Traders want to see hard data and results, and patience isn't an abundant asset in Wall Street, unfortunately. So patience is actually, prior to this year, for the most part, patience is, and I talked about this, I'm not going to rant on this too much, but it's funny, it's just funny how much what short-term used to mean, I'll say long-term. What long-term used to mean just a year ago and what it means now. Like if you said long-term a year ago, you're talking at least a year. Now you talk to a lot of Robinhood traders, long-term is like 2 weeks, which is crazy, you guys. So long-term, when I say long-term personally, I'm talking at least, and it's even changed for me, I would say at least 6 months. So if I'm saying long-term, I'm thinking 6 months at least, okay? No slowing down. If the investing community's lack of patience may have put negative pressure on SRNE stock, it certainly hasn't slowed the company down in its clinical pipeline expansion efforts. On November 9th, Sorrento Therapeutics announced a U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, investigational new drug application for STI 2020, also known as COVID-AMG. STI 2020 is a SARS-CoV-2 antibody that has already been validated in preclinical studies, and the IND is for the treatment of COVID-19 in patients with mild symptoms, and a separate safety and pharmacokinetic study in healthy volunteers. A lot of interesting word choice. I mean, that's probably an appropriate word choice, but regardless. But wait, there's more. Just 2 days later, Sorrento announced the IND filing for STI 2099, also known as its COVID drops. This IND for a phase 1 safety and pharmacokinetic study in healthy volunteers and outpatients with mild COVID-19 disease with or without a simultaneous intravenous injection. COVID drops are designed as an intranasal formulation of a neutralizing antibody against SARS-CoV-2 for patients presenting with mild cases of COVID-19. This could prove to be a relatively rapid and convenient treatment solution. So this is interesting, you guys, right? Because remdesivir is a more Remdesivir by Regeneron, there we go, is for more severe cases, right? Like if you're really having a hard time, if you're on a ventilator, you can use remdesivir specifically to really mitigate some of those almost lethal, like the lethal symptoms of COVID. But this is good too. I really like where Sorrento is going with this, because this applies more to the masses, because the majority of people, obviously aside from high risk individuals, which is the minority of people, if you get COVID, you're gonna want something like this. This is like Dayquil if you have a cold or something. It's available to the masses, and therefore it's a lot more scalable. It might come cheaper, but it's definitely more scalable, and the marketplace for it is far greater. The bottom line, you've got to hand it to Sorrento with a more is better approach. This ambitious biotech firm refuses to cut back on its array of potential anti-COVID-19 solutions. If you're on board with this approach, then a moderately sized position in SRNE stock could sooner or later offer strong upside. So again, you guys, this is what I said. Even through all the ups and downs, I've held a lot of my SRNE position, and I have been adding back into the position in recent days. Shout out to the newsletter again. But it just shows I'm long-term bullish. And when I say long-term, again, 6 months, I think 6 months is pretty conservative for Sorrento, especially considering you're seeing you're seeing Moderna, you're seeing Pfizer, you're seeing a lot of these companies start to get out of the speculation mode, which is where, like we say we do this, we say we're working on this, we're working on X, we're working on Y, and they're actually getting the data, they're getting the feedback, they're making tangible progress as opposed to speculative progress. So it's only a matter of time for SRNE. We've been following them for a long time. They're a competent company in other fields of research, so there's no reason for me to believe that they won't succeed at least a few of these endeavors. Again, they're taking the multi-pronged approach. They're really taking the shotgun approach, which I respect. And I feel the same way as the author of that article, and I do believe that they have to succeed with at least a few of them. Okay, so Sorrento, very, very simple TA right here, you guys. I'm not going to get super technical. So volume still pretty low, picking up a little bit since back here, which is nice, but Sorrento is technically still in a downtrend, which is the most important thing I want to get off here, and which also makes it very difficult to give even a medium-term kind of price prediction. So we are in a long-term downtrend that started back in its high back in early August. We have another touch point right here on the 14th of October, and you can see here now we are really coming close to testing that line of resistance. So like very, very close, especially considering Sorrento's up almost 12% today, which is crazy. It really came close to that line, you guys. And I think tomorrow, or you guys, like as you guys are watching this video, maybe if you're watching it on Friday, I think we might close out the week right on this line. So I think it is inevitable. All traders, everyone who's trading this stock is looking at this trend line right here, this line of resistance on this downtrend. I think it's inevitable that we come to test this if we can break out of this. And by breakout, I would need to see at least a closure of a 4-hour above this line of resistance right here. So if we can see a 4-hour closure, hopefully a daily, if we close the week above this line, that's a very, very good sign, you guys. And that means that we've broken out of this longer term downtrend, and there's likely a lot more upside than downside ahead, because we have now technically broken out, which is obviously broken out of the downtrend once again. So keep an eye on this, you guys. All of you, I do recommend, if you are trading Sorrento and you for some reason have not already, draw this line on your chart, because this is a very, very, very obvious trend line, and this will prove a formidable opponent to Sorrento. So hopefully we break out of this. Any piece of good news, we will very, very likely break out of this trend. So just be ready, guys. And again, we'll see what happens here. And as always, I will keep you posted. We'll definitely talk about these guys next week, because it's a super, super exciting time. And once again, COVID is at the top of mind for a lot of people right now. So save the world stocks, you guys, as we call them in the newsletter. I've called them in the videos as well. Save the world stocks. I mean, how can you not love them, right? So we'll call it there, you guys. As always, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you had a good week as well, trading this biotech sector. Let me know what your favorite stocks in the sector are if you don't like Moderna and Sorrento. Again, nothing personal. These are just my choices. This is my opinion. So let me know down below, guys. Talk about whatever you want. Always love talking shop with you guys. Always love learning from you guys more so. So see you downstairs. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.